Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Dina and today I'm here with you for another, let's call it a yarn haul video. In fact, I do have a very small clip of a yarn store, but it is generally, I was visiting some stores last week Thursday when I went to the city of Nijmegen, and one of the stores was the first time I went in there. They do have 3 stores in the city of from that brand, and this was the first time I visited this department. I know for now that is not a place that I can record videos, unfortunately, because how it's currently set up, it could be it's different in a few years, but how it's currently set up, it does not allow for easy ability to bring you guys with me, basically, in short. So I only bought a few skeins, so the plan was to go there to see what their selection was. Of course, to record if I had the opportunity to do so, and then buy a few skeins of yarn, because I do want to buy a few skeins of yarn to go into the hat/beanie business, to make some and maybe even sell some. And yeah, I wasn't able to, but I did get some yarns there. So I'm going to show you these yarns, and then from that store on the way to the center itself, where I had to do some other few things, I passed along Søstrene Grene. Søstrene Grene is a Danish store. They sell bits of everything from all around the world, so to say, because that is their slogan, all over the world. And they also sell tea, loose tea blends. And I got some because the tea blends were actually really reasonably priced. You can get a sack of tea blend for like less than €2, €1.80 or something like that. Inbuilt a tea clip, and I got this one, which is called Chinese Spring. Not sure how much I can show you from it, but there's a loose tea blend in here, and you can vaguely see it is a Chinese tea blend. It has a rose flower or rose petal, dried rose petals in it. And it has a slight hint of a bergamot, which you also find in like Earl Grey. So it is sort of a fresh Earl Grey, maybe. I would say the Russian Earl Grey with a flavor of lemon is a bit more fresh, but this one is still a flowery Earl Grey. Chinese Spring, it's called. And it's nice. It's quite nice. But as I said, I went to the Zeeman, and this Zeeman on Molenweg in Nijmegen is not really a good place to record movies, I think. It was a bit crammed in there. Basically, it was probably a little bit too nice property compared to the amount of items they kind of want to have, and you do need a little bit of space to be able to do decent recording. So, yeah, I'm going to share with you the yarns that I actually picked up there. I picked up, let's see, 6 skeins of yarn to make hats from. That was a plan. One of them I'm in doubt right now. I might actually want to make something else because I think it looks gorgeous. Maybe I need to get an extra so I can make a hat from one and then use others for something else. The first yarn that I got is the yarn named Dream. It is a €2.99 for this skein. It's lovely baby blue. As you can see, it is somewhat fluffy, a little bit like brushed. It is 100 grams, so that's 3.5 ounces to 190 meters. So that is maybe 215-ish yards, which makes this a lovely 4-weight yarn. Though it seems maybe ever so slight like a DK weight, I can tell you it should be a 4-weight. It is maybe a thick 3, thin 4. They do recommend 7 to 8 millimeter knitting needles, but I'm quite sure that the crochet hooks is also 5 to 6 millimeter crochet hooks. I have never used this yarn before. The price tag I think was interesting. The color looked really nice. And it is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. Washed at 30 degrees, so that is 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Do not iron, do not tumble dry, do not bleach. I assume you can dry clean it, lay flat to dry basically. You will need 8 balls of these for a medium-sized sweater. And that's pretty much it. It's a colorway 60. Price tag was interesting. I think I could make a really nice summer hat, and maybe I'll even have yarn over, and maybe that could become headband or something like that. So that is kind of why I got the skein. Obviously all these skeins is to some extent with the intention of making hats from them, with one exception, but I will get into that exception later. €3 for this one. Then I got the Julia yarns. Julia is €2.50, so it's even cheaper. And it's nice and soft actually. I have this gray one and I got it in blue, dark blue. You can easily combine these two colors if you want. So that's one good thing. They are also 3.5 ounces, though they are shorter in yardage, so only 170 meters. 100 centimeters is a bit less than 200 yards. 195 yards maybe. Again, they recommend you to get 6 of these for a medium-sized sweater. They recommend 6 to 7 millimeter crochet hooks. The gray one is colorway 80 and the blue one here is colorway 60. I got one of each. They're nice and soft. 80% acrylic, 20% wool. So it is in that same the same breakdowns of the contents, but they're definitely different yarns. And this one is also thicker, and you can also feel that, and it's also wound in a different way. You can see it is like yeah, how can I best say that? The yarn is plied together and then it's plied together again in one, like 2 strands plied together. So first you ply a lot of small strands together and then you ply that together in a bigger strand. The yarns are made in Turkey. And I said like €2.50. This is like $2.50 for a skein of yarn, right? It's a really good price tag, and I want to, as I said, I want to make hats from them, and I want to make headbands and so on. And I'm going to see if I might have luck selling them for a little profit. And that was kind of my idea. So here we are, 2 more, and I can see these go very well together. Actually, I have an idea now. This idea was not an idea that I had at the store, but when I'm seeing them right here, right now, I actually have an idea. I might actually test that out with these. So a lot of the patterns are also not decided. I have been looking at a various list of different beanie patterns because I want to do some different beanie textures and so on. But that's the Julia. And then I got their Milan yarns. If you watched last week's yarn talk video, you will know that I will be working one up in this one, which is a Milan. It is a €4 skein, colorway 30. It is gorgeous. This gorgeous sort of yeah, what should we call it? It's like a salmon pearly colored yarn. Yes, salmon. It's also a 100 gram skein, 3.5 ounces to 230 meters. So they are longer yardage than the others we have talked about today. 70% polyamide, 20% acrylics, and 10% wool. They're all Urkotex branded also, made in Turkey, all of them. Wash at 30 degrees. Do not tumble dry, do not bleach, do not iron, lay flat to dry. 5 millimeter crochet hook is what they're recommending for them. They claim force enough to make a medium-sized sweater. I'm not so sure. Colorway 30. I am going to make a hat of this. And that is probably the first one of all these that I will be working with right now, though I'm slightly also tempted to do the Julia first. But that is what I said. So I will start off on the Milan here. I think they're really nicely salmon colored. I have a good idea for it. I think the Divine hat could be a really nice design with this. And then as very last, I got actually 2 more Milan cakes. So they are, or cakes, skeins. So it's exactly the same as the salmon ones, spec-wise, but it's in this lovely sort of steel blue. And I thought this could be really gorgeous in either a shawl or maybe even a cardigan. Wow, I really, really like this. It's gorgeous. I might actually have to go back to see if I can get some more skeins of this. Of course, I kind of got them with the purpose of hats, but the plans maybe slowly have changed as I got home and had a look at these, because they're really looking gorgeous. Like, sorry that I'm saying it, but they are gorgeous. Gorgeous. So that was what I got at the Seaman. Then I went further on. I came by the Sustainability, got my tea. Went by the phone company to get everything settled with my new subscription and so on, because I'm able to save some money, so let's do that. And then on the way to the bus to go back home, they do have another store named Vipa, and I thought, okay, now when I haven't been able to record anything at the Seaman, I could visit the Vipa. Usually it's not too busy in the store, and then I can do the recording. They don't have the biggest yarn departing, but I can do a bit of recording for you guys. So I went there, and before I even came into the store, there was this woman outside handing out buckets, being like, yeah, we just relaunched, we reopened. So they had refurnished the whole store, and it was everything you can fill in this bucket, 20% discount. And they like never have discounts in there, rarely, because it is already quite cheap. It is a value store. So I was like, okay, grabbing the bucket. The bucket you would get for free, and anything you could fit in it, you could get discounts on. And I did need a few things from in there, like I get my kitchen towels and so on from there because they have decent prices and so on. So I went in there to grab a few things. I was like, it was really busy, and I came to the yarn department, which that split up in two, and I did manage to get about 1:20 recording of where they have their cottons, but then the other wall they have, because where they had their cottons was not a very big section, and I was barely anyone there. So I could easily do the recording there, but the other section where they had all the other yarns, they had lots of gorgeous yarns, I could not record because there was so many people there. We were like standing on top of each other. So what I will have to do is I will have to show you the yarns I got, and I will promise you that that I will do a recording in a few weeks' time when the whole renewed things and discount stuff has kind of blown off, and it's a little bit more calm in the store, because under the conditions there were this week, that would not have been viable. That would not have been a good recording, especially because I tried to record without getting other people on the recordings, because nobody, then else I will need to ask them, is it okay that I put you on YouTube because I have a channel, etc., because of GDPR rules and so on. I didn't want to do that. So I decided on just keeping this small clip that I'm going to show you here for the cotton. And then after I've showed you the cottons, which I didn't get any of, and they also had some macrame yarns there, which I will do a voiceover on. And once I've done that, I will show you the yarns that I picked up from the Vipa. Here you see the Vipa Nova yarns, which are 50 gram skeins, so 1.75 ounces to 120 meters. So that's like 135 yards or so. They are 100% mercerized cotton. And yeah, they come in these very gorgeous colors. Absolutely gorgeous, and have a good feel as well. Only €1.69 per skein, so actually this is a good value, I would say, for mercerized cotton. Mercerized, maybe in pronunciation is wrong. Down here we find macrame yarns, €2 for a 100 gram ball, which is 3.5 ounces to 140 meters, so 155-ish or so yards. 4.5 millimeter needles is requested for this. It's 100% polyester, and they also have a few different colors here. And then they have them in a thicker version down here, also 100% polyester, 100 grams skeins. But as said, they are thicker, so they are like recommending 7 millimeter crochet hooks for these. €2 also, and some thicker macrame yarns, more like a cotton version of them. I really hope you enjoyed the very short sneak peek of their yarns. They are some of the yarns that I really enjoyed the most personally was their Mercer-sized cotton yarns. Mercer-sized cotton yarns. This is the yarn that I did manage to get here in the bucket. And let's start with the yarns. And the first yarn I have is called Lena. Lena here is 100 grams skein. It is the sandy color because again, they had a few here and there and I decided let's get a few skeins more here for hat making because it's 20% discounted. The Lena was, I have my note not still because they don't always put price tags on. Some of them they do, some of them they don't. Lena was €2.50, so just like the Julia. And the fact is, when I look at this yarn, I'm thinking Seeman's Julia. This yarn is 100 ounces to 170 meters. The same is the Julia yarns. So let's just pick up the Julia and hold that one next to it. And then if I do like this, and you don't see the label, I think they're sourcing their yarns from the same yarn store or the same producer in Turkey. The price is the same, price tag is the same. They only have different labels on here. Look at this. If I did not know better, I would say they're the same. I think they're the same. They're very compatible. They feel very similar. It's a little bit more wound up, but very, very compatible, very nice and soft. They are also 80% acrylic, 20% wool. All the specs are the same, exact same specs. Price tag are the same, it's just a different label, different store that's carrying them. Both are value stores. I think it's the same. The only difference is I got 20% discount on this one, I didn't on the others. Nice. And they had some really posh colors as well, some really strong colors. But yeah, so, and I think this could be nice for like a neutral colored hat as well. So yeah, I got that. Then I got a brushed acrylic. I've had this acrylic once before in a giveaway a long time ago. I gave €2, so this is a €2 skein. It is 100% acrylic, 100% brushed acrylic, 200 meters, so 220 yards to 3.5 ounces. They recommend a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. And yeah, as I said, it is 100% acrylic. And the reason I wanted to get 100% acrylic also in between here is that I wanted to make sure that people who might have wool allergies could also get hats. So that was the thought here. They recommend 5 of these for a medium-sized sweater. And if you want to make it for a man, you would need 8 of them. Wash at 40 degrees, can be dry cleaned, do not iron, do not tumble dry, do not bleach. That's the short version. Yeah, it's a €2 skein, so that is so far the cheapest of them all. And I also got 20% discount, so I paid like €1.60. Ooh, that's crazy, actually. Then what they also did is that even not only just renewing their store, look, like they refurbished the whole store, new shelves, new everything, new flooring even. They also increased their yarns. They have new yarns in the store. I know Vibra has them from time to time, but now they actually officially launched and are now selling Neko. Neko is a Turkish yarn. I might pronounce it differently or wrong. And Neko yarns is lovely. Quality Turkish yarns. For a good price. You can see some Neko yarns on like websites like Bilrita. But yeah, they had some different yarns, and I got 2 different yarns from Nako. The first I got is the Nako Bonjour, which is definitely a thicker, like worsted weight, Aran weight, maybe even almost bulky. Nice and soft, in this sort of steel blue, steel gray blue, gray bluish, Nako Bonjour. And as I said, it's a Turkish yarn. It's a 100 gram skein, so 3.5 ounces, but it's only 110 meters, which is about 120-ish yards. They recommend 6mm crochet hook for this, or 7 to 8mm knitting needles. It can be washed at 30 degrees. It can be ironed at low. It should be dry, laid flat to dry. Do not tumble dry. Do not bleach. Can probably be dry cleaned. It is a colorway 23687, so that's a bit of a longer colorway number. It contains the Nako Bonjour. Here is a 20% polyamide and 80% premium acrylic. And it's Oekotex branded 100, and it is from Nako yarns. And I got 2 of these. I think that made sense. And the Nako Bonjour, what did they actually tell me? They cost also €2.50 per skein. So 2.5 euros per skein. So that's $5 yarn, basically, here, roughly. But a bit less because it was discounted. Again, hats, beanies, something like that, in a thicker yarn, which is nice. It'll work up quickly then. It feels really nice and soft. No wool in it. Again, good for those that might have any sort of wool allergies. I think 1 should maybe be enough to make a hat, but because I wasn't sure, I decided to get 2, just to be sure that I would have enough. Also, of course, if there is enough and so on, always depends on the pattern you're using. What sort of patterns are you using? Does it require more yarn, etc., etc. I'm going to find out with these. Curious as how it is. The last yarns I got was, and I'll be honest, I had not really planned to buy yarns at Vibra this time around. I had more than enough from the Seaman to do the few things that I wanted to do. But then I saw this yarn, and because I could get 20% off because they were still fitting in my bucket, I got them. They're gorgeous. And I'm quite sure if you like teal, if you like purple, you will be jealous. It is the Nako Angurella. That's the name of the yarn. Nako Angurella. But look at this. Whoa. Might even show better from this side because we don't have the strand going out. Look at these purples, teals, and to some extent like creamish colors. Holy smokes! Oh my goodness! Wow! And it's soft. This is a premium acrylic, there is no doubt. And it is 100% premium acrylic. It is also by Nako yarns. It is the colorway 87571. It is 100 grams. So again, like all the other skeins here, 3.5 ounce cake. To 400 meters of yarn. So this is a thin weight yarn, but you can also see that on the one that comes out here, right? It's a thin weight yarn. It is roving style. Sometimes it might be a bit thicker, sometimes it might be a bit thinner. I have no clue what I'm gonna make with these yet. Probably like a shawl or something. But I don't know what I'm making, but I know it was so gorgeous, and I picked up the last 4 they had in stock and was sold out. they recommend 2.5mm crochet hook. I've worked successfully with a similar yarn in a 3mm hook. I'm fair to say this yarn is probably like the Hobbies Universe yarns, just no glitter. So this is like Hobby Universe, no glitter. From Ice Yarns, they also have a similar one. I believe it's called Rainbow Cakes Rainbow or something like that. Not 100% sure of the name, but I know they have one. Also these small cakes, same size, colors slightly ever so different, but also premium acrylic like this is. Yeah, and I've definitely worked a similar yarn from the hobby, so I know I can work in this yarn, and it is gorgeous. And as I said, there were 4 of them, so obviously I had to get all 4. Let's see if I can actually stack this without losing them. No, I am going to lose them, I think. Can I hold them all at the same time? Yes, I can. I have 4. I got all 4. That was the last 4 I left, and I was like, they are not going to be left behind. I have to own them. So I bought them. They were €3 a piece, which is a very cheaper price compared to the Hobby Universe yarns. But they don't have as a big selection of them. I think they had like 2 when I was there, and I decided just to get this one because that was the ones I liked the most, and I might regret that, but at the same time, you know, I already have more than enough yarns. You know that if you have watched all my Sort My Yarns series. I do have a lot more time now to actually use the yarns as well. So yeah, that was really amazing. Really happy with this haul. Definitely I am. I hope you enjoyed it, even though we didn't really spend that much time in the stores. I promise you that when I have an appointment in 3 weeks' time, maybe it's a bit less than 3 weeks now, but about 3 weeks' time, I will try to make a new recording, because I will visit the stores when I'm there again, and I will get some recording for you guys, so you have a bit more to enjoy than the short one I had for you. That what's happened sometimes, you can't really plan when you're there how the stores are and if it's possible to record. This time it wasn't, but I'm definitely still happy with the yarns I got. Thank you for watching. If you do enjoy yarn, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It's just here down below. Take care and happy crafting. Bye.